girl Linnee from Inner Beauty Out, and today we're doing another makeup tutorial, but this time it's not on me. It's on my beautiful mom. She's actually my cousin. So say hi.
Hi.
Her name is Stephanie, and actually she's a bride. And so basically one of the reasons we ended up doing this video today was inspiration off of Bridal look. And she's going to be a very naturalista bride. So I wanted to inspire you guys on what you guys can put together as far as an inspirational makeup look. Or you're just a guest to a wedding. So either way, this look will work out. If you love it and you want to know how I put it together, stay tuned. See you in my next video. Or see you in a little bit. Not in my next video. Keep watching. So before we actually apply any type of makeup to the face, what we want to do is make sure that we are starting off with a clean slate. We don't want to clog any pores. We want to make sure that there is no dirt on the face and things like that. So what I'm gonna go in is with Bioderma, and I am going to cleanse the face and tone the face. You know, take out the natural oils, and we're just gonna start from there. So you can just do this with a cotton round. And once we're done with that, I let the face kind of settle a little bit, and then we're gonna go in with a makeup setting spray. And I always like to use a setting spray before I apply anything else to the face, so that everything adheres to the face, if that makes sense. So I'm using Urban Decay's De-Slick makeup setting spray, but I'll put everything else in the description bar. Okay. And what I'm going to do next is also moisturize the skin, and I'm going to use Ombre Elise Let Creme Concentré, which is a French brand, but it's also a great moisturizer across all skin types. And then I'm going to go in with my trusty primer by Rimmel London, which is the Fix and Pro Perfect. Now some people use brushes sometimes to apply moisturizer to the skin. I personally like to apply it with the hands because I feel like it warms up the product as well. Okay, so once we let that settle into the skin, I'm going to just go right in for the eyebrows. So going in with the brows, I need 3 essential tools, and that's my spoolie, a small angle, as well as a flat definer brush, as you can see here. So I'm going to go in using also the MAC Studio Fix Studio Finish Concealer, and this is in NC45, and it looks like this shade, just a shade lighter than her skin, to highlight the brows. So sometimes I have brides that do come in without their brows being done. In the case for Stephanie here, I caught her off guard in wanting to do my video. So, but for the most part, even if that's the case, you can always hide the brows by putting concealer. Now I'm going in with my angled brush using Deep Dark Brunette by MAC, and I'm just lining the bottom part of her brows first. Now I'm pushing up with whatever's extra and left over on the brush into the brow hairs to make them look fuller. And as you can see, one brow already starts to look more enhanced than the other. Now to carve the top, you still want this to look very natural. It's okay to be a little messy because you can always clean it up with the concealer on the top. But as you can see already, there's a defined look on this brow, and this is the natural brow. So I'm going to work on this side, and then I'll come back to you once I'm done with both. Alright, now that both brows are looking somewhat symmetrical, we're going to go ahead and clean it up and sharpen up the edges with going back into the brows using the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC45, the same color that we use on the bottom. And then we just blend out the concealer. I'm going to go in and prep the base of the lid using the Urban Decay primer potion. I'm going to go back in with MAC Painterly Paint Pot as well. Let's start the lid. Again, some people may use their fingers to blend this part out, or they can use a brush, whatever kind of dense brush that they can find. It's also good to use this in the inner tear duct corner, right under the eye, to make sure that there's no creasing. Serves as a primer that way. Now the reason I use the paint pot over the lid is so that there's one actual shade of color across the lid to work from. Because the lid usually is darker than the rest of the face, we kind of want to make it brighter, and also it serves as making the shadows adhere to something and they won't crease. They'll last a lot longer. And they'll be a little bit more vibrant. Just take your time. Make sure everything is blended out nicely. Now my recent favorite brush to use has been the Morphe 330 brush, and it looks like this. So we're going to put down her transition color first, and then I'm going to go build from that into the brow bone. I'll include all the product information below. Alright, the next shade right below that is going to be Saddle by MAC. Sorry if I get too close to your face, but it's going to be this shade. Just a little bit to warm up the color. Literally using the same brush right in the crease. It's going to give us a nice gradient effect. So when you're working with deeper sockets, you want to extend the shadow outwards so that we can elongate the eyes. We don't want to make it a rounded look so that we focus on it being deeper eyes. So we want to elongate the eyes by bringing out the shadow when we actually use the brush or put on color. So although I'm going in circular motions, and this is just to blend it out, I'm still wisping the color out in a windshield wiper kind of a motion. I'm going to use rice paper at the bottom. And then go back in with the brush and make sure it's nicely blended. So I'm going to go in with a deeper brown, and I believe this is called Espresso. And that's by MAC. And this is a very neutral, natural look. I am going to create somewhat of a V with this shade, but I'm packing it on ever just so much at a time. Again, we want to stay true to her eye shape, but we don't want to make her eyes deeper. So I'm only putting it on the outer edge of the eye, right in that eye socket. So first I bring the shadow down, like so, from the corner down, and then go back in and bring it across, like so. Just a little bit in, ever so slightly. So I'm going in with Deep Damson by MAC, and I'm going to mix that in with the same brush with a Sketch, and go in that same corner of the eye. Next is the fun part. It's going across the lid. And I'll be using Pink Champagne by Anastasia Beverly Hills, along with the Sigma concealer brush, I know, which is an F75, to pack that on. And we're going to pack and press in that shade into the lid. Don't be afraid to hold the brow bone. You need to get into some tight places and just pack it and spread it. So what I've done is I've added another champagne-y color in the center of where the champagne color meets the brown, just to give it a little bit of a better transition. Worry about the fallout. We can clean that up later. So I'm going to go back in and intensify the outer corner because we lost a little bit of that when we did the inner tear. Blending it out nicely. And again, I'm going in with Sketch and Deep Damson. So I'm going to go in with Smolder by MAC eye pencil and just go really, really close to the hairline and kind of intensify that before using any kind of liquid liner. Just running the lash line. So I'm going to go in with Inglot 77 gel liner, which looks like this. And I'm going to go back in with the same angled brush by Sigma that I used earlier for the brows to further line and intensify the lash line. Again, we're not trying to make like a huge wing or top. So I don't know if you could tell the difference, but I can already see that this eye is a little bit more defined versus this eye. This is just using the pencil alone, and this one's using both the pencil and the gel. And you can see how much wider her eye is on this side than that. So to clean up the edges, what I've done is I used a Q-tip and I put Bioderma on each end, and I'm just gonna wipe down to help clean up all this excess stuff. Same thing on the other side. Take a dry Q-tip and do the same. Okay. Don't forget to put primer back into that area before you actually begin to apply makeup. That's too tight for me to open. Pause. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have her close her eyes. We'll apply the lashes last, but now we're going to color correct. Now because Stephanie has deep set eyes, she also has some dark circles, but that's okay because the power of makeup eliminates that. So what I'm going to go in is using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit, and I'm going to color correct beginning with the orange shade. Whoops, the orange shade at the top right there. I believe that color is called Warm Coral. But a lot of people have deeper circles or dark circles under their eyes. It's something a lot of people have, so it's not something that's not common that people get corrected. So now that side is corrected, and the reason we want this to be light, if you can see the difference, that deep circle is now gone. So that's what we're going to do on that side using the same orange shade. We'll just bring this in the inner part of the eyes. Anywhere that you may feel like there might be a little bit of discoloration, which she really doesn't have, you can brighten it up by putting a little bit of orange corrector there. So her skin is fairly clear, but this is what we have as far as that goes, as far as the base goes. Now I'm going to go into blending out a little bit more with a beauty blender, and then we're going to go ahead and go in with the actual foundation coverage. Isn't she still gorgeous? Now I'm going to mix in my foundation to apply to that as well. So I blended MAC 7.5 along with, I believe, 6 together. And I'm going to do her shading here. I like to match the color of people's skin to their neck. So to me, this matches the latter part of her neck, and that's what we want. No lighter than that. So, and with a beauty blender, all you need to do is dab. You don't want to spread, you just want to dab it into the skin. You're pushing the foundation literally into the skin. You can dab into the hairline, but what I love about this particular foundation is that it starts off dewy and it ends matte. This foundation does oxidize, so that means it does go a shade darker, but it will match your skin color. I am not too worried about getting all the product under the eyes, only because we're going to conceal that anyway. I want to make sure this face is very well blended. How does it feel to get your face beat?
Awesome.
I guess it's a literal beat down on your face with a beauty blender.
Actually, it feels good. A little massage.
A massage on your face. So depending on what the bride is wearing, usually what I'll do is I'll ask how low their dress will be cut. Then from there, I'd be able to determine whether I should go, you know, further down the neck and into the collarbone and things like that. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh my god, she's still white. Don't worry about it. So now I'm going to go in with NC42 in the MAC Studio Finish Concealer to highlight underneath her eyes earlier. And so basically I'm creating a V motion, or shape, not motion, underneath the eye and dabbing the product onto the skin. Because I just feel like dabbing motions actually give you more of a airbrushed finish. And then I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender. Again, dabbing motions, making sure your beauty blender is nice and damp. Straight ahead. Highlighted, not highlighted. Highlighted, not highlighted. So we're going to do the other side. Then I'll be back once I've highlighted all of the whole face. Now we are highlighted, girlfriend, to the goal. Yes. Not on your client. And blend away. For people who crease a lot, you want to have them keep looking up and not look down until you've actually set the highlight. So I'm going to ask you to keep looking up while I get my powder. I'm using banana powder to go ahead and set this highlight up. Don't look down. Don't look down. Or they'll have creasing. And we're just going to, same beauty blender and dabbing motions. So now that Stephanie looks like a ghost, this is called baking. And so basically we're letting the concealer set because we want those high points of the face to be basically the high points of the face. We want them to stand out. So what I'm going to do while she's baking is begin to contour. So I'm going to go back in with my Anastasia cream contour kit. So we're going to probably end up going with chocolate. She doesn't have a big forehead, but we want to keep her like a bronze look. So we're going to give her deeper colors. And you're just going to see it's going to bring some color back into her face because her face right now is very flat with all the white going on. And this is a large concealer brush by Sigma F65. And again, I'm going with the color chocolate. Turn your face over there. And this is where, from the high points of her ear down, is how we're going to contour. And when we contour up. Because we want to chisel the face. And since she has some full cheeks, it's going to give her a nice little round look right about there. I'm going to emphasize that. Okay? And then I'm going to, again, structure her jawbone, but we're bringing the color underneath her chin. And that gives her some structure as well. Bring some structure back to the face. And then we can use the same color very lightly on the nose. because we don't want a harsh contour on the nose. Just very ever so lightly. A little button nose. Again, measure up the ear to the jaw, to the where her smile line is, and just bring that down. And there she has it, a contoured and highlighted face. The map is going on right there. And then we're going to blend that out with the Beauty Blender. Again, we're using Fix Plus. And with the booty of the Beauty Blender, dabbing motions. It's okay if you go over the highlighted areas on the edges, but dabbing motions to blend out everything. Rough, girl, you rough! Like, I'm kidding. So let's take a look at how that looks. Beautiful. Okay? Beautiful. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M438 brush, which is a tapered brush, and I'm going to sweep away, open up for me, this powder we got going on there. So now that we've swept away all that stuff, I'm going to set under her eyes with some Makeup Forever translucent setting powder. We don't want that eye to crease at all. No creases in the name of Jesus. Next, we're going to set her face. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques brush that looks like this. We're just going to set the rest of her face. Bring a little more color so it's not ashy looking. Get in the crevices. Now to bring some of that color back into the skin some more, I am going to another blending brush. This is a Morphe M330, and we're going to chisel that nose. And I'm using the Ebony Bronze bronzer in Q120 by CoverGirl. Bring it up in the eye socket to also deepen and make it look more natural. You can even bring it out into the brow bone. Set that contour. Oh, M178 brush. The Morphe 178 brush. So I'm going to go in with Sleek's Pumpkin Trio, which looks like that. It's extremely pretty. And we're just going to lightly give her some color. So we just want to bring some nice warm color back into the cheeks. So right above the cheekbone there. Just this nice warm blush color. Now for the highlight, we want this to be a very golden look. I'm going back in with that same brush I used to remove the highlight, and I'm going in with MAC's Gold Deposit. And actually what I'm going to do is spray that. Turn on, let me see. Ooh, Jesus Christ, look at that highlight. OMG! Let's get some more for the other side. You know she's about to be highlight for her wedding. Like,
all the way.
She's gonna be like glistening.
All the way.
Then what I also like to do, I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight here. We're also gonna mix this highlight together with something else. We're gonna mix it with, I know, silver, Global Glow. Just in the center. to give you like an opal-y. Ooh, Jesus Christ. This guy gonna be blind. He's gonna be so highlighted. Oh! Sorry. Alright. Oh! Just, I mean... He won't know what to do with himself. For the lips, we're gonna go with cork because we want to keep it very natural. And this is a cork liner by MAC. She did have lip balm before this, which is perfect when you apply lip balm earlier on while you're doing makeup because it moisturizes the lips and gets it ready, but it's not too glossy. So what I did was mixed melted, and I mixed the lip mix by MAC together. By Matte. This is Melted in Peony by Too Faced, and then this is by MAC. It's a lip mix in the color Mid-Tone Nude. Now what's great about using matte colors is that it stays on longer than regular lipstick. And I'm going to add some lip balm actually to that instead of gloss, which also serves. And the lip balm I'm using is by NYX. It is the all over balm in argan oil with argan oil by NYX. Again, this is where Q-tips are great because you can go ahead and fix and correct things. I'm gonna go back in with the cork color. A little more of the nude. Beautiful. And to finish everything off, I usually like to dust over the face one more time with the high definition powder. How can we forget the lashes? So we're going to just put some really dainty lashes on. When I mean dainty, they're very short and they're very natural looking. So mistakes can happen like that where you may see that I got some mascara there on her cheek. But easy peasy. Take a cotton swab and just buff it out. And you can go back in. And I feel like this helps brighten the eye up a little bit. If you can see the difference between the two, one is a little bit more dark, it looks more vibrant and brighter. So that's what we're trying to do. Look more awake. That's what we're trying to do. To seal the look, all I'm going to do is go back in with my Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray. This brings back, takes away any powdered look, and there you have the finished look. Our bronze bridal goddess. So hey guys, you made it to the end. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to Stephanie for being my guest today and my model.
No problem.
I love the way this actually came out. Her hair, how natural it looks. So natural. You can look just as glamorous with your natural hair and rock it out beautifully on your wedding day. So look at this. Just look at how beautiful this is. So I hope you enjoyed. Definitely give me a thumbs up on my video. Subscribe if you haven't. And I really appreciate it. So I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.
Bye.